Greetings, everyone. It's your girl, Rashida Strober. I am the world's first and only dark skinned activist. I am the creator, the inventor, the designer, the architect of the very first platform in history for dark skin, known as dark skin activism. And I created this platform back in 1998. Before there was social media, before there was the internet to the level that it's at today, I was engaged in dark skin activism because I had created dark skin activism as a way to free myself from the oppression that I face as a dark skinned person. And still to this day, I'm not free. We're not free. Even the people that practice darkism against other people, you're not free. Because if y'all think about it, that ain't the way it's supposed to be. We're not supposed to be discriminating against each other as human beings and, treating each other differently because of phenotype factors that we cannot control. And just so you know, guys, I'm being stalked and harassed as a result of my dark skin activism. So every time I go live, I'm stalked by some individuals that were incited by a person on YouTube that directed their followers to inflict physical harm on me. And this has been over a month that these people have been stalking me. So when I go live, they watch my channel because they're stalking me. And then that's when they began calling my phone and threatening me. And they're calling again. Very sick people. So when you dark skinned, you wake up in this world, and I'm talking about especially when you become conscious of it. Things are just different. You can never be relaxed. And I believe this is the case for dark skinned people that even decide that they're going to go marry non-dark skinned people. They're doing it as a way to possibly escape darkism, but we're never truly free. And it's because human beings have made it this way. It doesn't have to be this way. Because just like human beings made it this way, they could change it. They can make a change. They can say, this isn't right. We're not gonna engage in this. I want you guys to make sure you go to my website, darkskinactivist.com, and make sure you support my work. I've written more books on dark skin than anybody in the world. My books include Darkism, 25 Ways Dark Skinned People Are Discriminated Against. My books also include A Dark Skinned Woman's Revenge. The latest book I wrote is called Token Dark Girl, the It Dark Girl of the Moment. And if you cash out me, the books are $40 each if you get it directly from me through Cash App. I will send you an autographed copy. Now, you can also go to my website and order the books. And my books are on Amazon. I think I got this thing turned the wrong way because it looked like I see lipstick on here. Because sometimes I'll put on some red lipstick and get it on my mask, like when, going into places. But yeah, my Cash App is $Rashida Lala. Once again, it is $Rashida Lala. And my PayPal is icecreamladydream@yahoo.com. And it's real sad sometimes. I feel bad for dark-skinned kids that are born, because if we don't end darkism, these dark kids don't have no idea what kind of world they growing up into. They don't have any understanding that it's gonna be hard for them to get a job. It's gonna be hard for them even in business. It's gonna be hard for them in education. It's gonna be hard in the dating world. It's gonna be hard in the criminal justice world where they're more likely to get criminalized even if they ain't done nothing. I mean, it's every aspect of their life is going to be. How do I know this? Because it happens to me. It's happened to me. I experience darkism damn near every time I walk out the door. Now, that is not to say that there's not going to be some outliers, people. Okay. It's not to say that there's not going to be some outliers that are going to be able to not experience as much of darkism or not have their life circumstances hampered as much as a result of darkism, because we can point to people who are. I don't want to. If I call these people tokens, I'm not calling them tokens to insult them or in a negative fashion. I know sometimes token is used to sort of ridicule a black person or a, a woman or someone in a group that people think that got picked just because they're a part of the group. But I'm not using token in that sense. I'm simply using token because sometimes a dark skinned person is in the right place at the right time and they get picked. And that dark skinned person is also talented and smart and capable and intelligent. And so I'm not demeaning them. That's not what I'm doing. I don't want you guys to think that. Okay? But tokenism is used against dark skinned people, I think. So you're gonna have some outliers. And if you guys read my book Token Dark Girl, the It Dark Girl of the Moment, which is the first book to address dark skinned females in popular culture, you will begin to get a concrete understanding of what I mean. And yes, for the record, I am the creator of the entire darkism, dark skin activist colorism lane. I created it. Nobody on social media would be talking about dark skin or colorism had it not been for me. And I would even argue on reality TV. A lot of people who watch my videos went to my website, read my book, and have plagiarized my work. So I have to keep saying that because even in that's a form of darkism. It's I call it systemic economic darkism. That's actually the term that I gave it in my book. Um, Giselle, you said you're not the creator of darkism. You don't even make any sense. Not only am I the creator of darkism, the word, I wrote the book. So let me help you to understand because you're getting confused. Number one, what I'm saying is I am the creator of dark skin activism, which is a fact. Which dark skin activism is the first platform to address systematically eradicating colorism and what I call darkism. So, what I'm saying to you is, I am the originator of the first platform in history for the eradication of dark skin discrimination. And that platform is called dark skin activism. And I gave the platform the name dark skin activism. I created that name dark skin activism. Now, let's move on to darkism. I am the person that created the word darkism to denote dark skin discrimination. I coined, I created, it is the brainchild. Darkism came out of my brain in terms of creating a word to define the unique struggles that dark skinned people face. No other person on earth came up with the word darkism and gave it that definition except for Rashida Strober. To lie, plagiarize, defame, and say I did not is darkism in and of itself. So by you coming on to my live saying that I did not coin or create the word darkism, that's darkism. You are committing darkism against me as a dark skinned black woman because what you are basically saying is that I am too dumb, stupid, and dark to come up with a word to define my unique struggle. That's darkism. Ah, no, they're ever present. They're ever present and they're ever jealous. See what it is. One of the things that people look at me and they go, I wish I would have came up with these concepts first. But God didn't give it to you. God didn't give you the word darkism and a definition for it. They wish that they would have wrote the books first. They wish that they would have came up with the platform first, but I'm the only one that has that actual credibility. Now I have a lot of people that copy me. I have a lot of people that plagiarize me. I have a lot of people that want to be me. But the fact remains that anybody that's talking about dark skin and darkism has copied me. That's a fact. Okay? So I just want people to clearly understand that. And people are going to continue to lie because they're hateful. People are jealous. Some people just don't want to give a person that actually created something their credit. They want to give it to other people because other people have big platforms. And some of those people that have bigger platforms are thieves and liars. And they're not good people because they steal and take from other people. And I'm the creator of the platform. Without Rashida Strober, nobody would be speaking about colorism or darkism. People have stolen from me, and those are just facts. And why people are angry about that makes no sense. But the only thing that I could chalk it up to why these people are mad is because they wish that the people that stole from me, who do have bigger platforms, they wish that those people authentically came up with it. They wish that those people were the originators. They wish those people had written the books. And they wish that the person or the people can say, I have all of this social proof of me doing this. But they don't have it. All they have is a YouTube channel. They have nothing before YouTube came along or before social media came along. And I'm the only one that has a concrete history of creating dark skin activism, the first platform in history, before anybody else. Now, this question of successful, the only thing that these people have been successful at is plagiarizing me. And successful at their ability to market prior to knowing about me. So there's some people, if you listen closely to what I'm saying and you research the facts, you will know that some people already had big platforms that didn't talk about colorism prior to plagiarizing my work. Yes, there are other people who already had built-in platforms that didn't talk about colorism or dark skin prior to knowing about me. They were talking about other things. So they already built up their platforms, perhaps because they knew how to market well, or they knew how to buy views, but they didn't have what I had, which is being the creator of the dark skin, darkism, colorism platform. I only had that. So when I came along, these bigger platforms said, she has a brilliant idea. Look at this. I've never seen this before. So I got this big platform over here with all these people. Let me take and steal from her and let me fashion this as if it were my own and pass it off to my platform because I have more people. That's what happened. That's what people do. They're evil. It's a bunch of evilness in the world. Low down, vicious, evil human beings that are only out for themselves, and they'll take and steal from anybody to bolster themselves or to make themselves relevant. They'll do anything. They don't care. I was looking at the story on Unsung. Let me give y'all an example of what this is. A similar story of what happened to me. It's just these people are more famous than I am. But it's the same story of what happened to me. In fact, the story of what takes place in the music business in regards to people plagiarizing and ripping off people's original content. Listen, that's happened to me. It's similarities there. So one case in point among many is the case of um, the Sugar Hill Gang, Rappers Delight, the Sugar Hill Gang. Now, I believe her name is Sylvia Robinson, and her husband. They owned the record company. What was the name of the record company? Anyway, they owned the record company, right? And the Sugar Hill Gang was the first, literally the first hip hop album rap group that was put out. And there's a guy named Mr. G. That was his original name. I was listening to the story and I was like, wow, people are so evil. The same thing that happened to me on YouTube, except a different version in terms of the music world. So Mr. G, when he was young, I think around 16, 17, he had already established himself as Mr. G. That was his name. He had already created that before he even came into the group. But after Sylvia Robinson and her husband died, one of their relatives took over, and this person began to go around the country with members of actually these were not members, with guys who were not the original members of the Sugar Hill Gang. And this person that's an executive, he started calling himself Mr. G. Had absolutely nothing to do with it, but he was calling himself Mr. G. Now this young man, the real Mr. G, that actually had the name before he even came into the group, he's looking like, what the hell? Then this executive went and actually trademarked Mr. G's name, as well as another one of the members in the group. It just stole from them. I said, wow, same thing that happened to me on YouTube. It's with my invention of dark skin activism. And here's another similarity here. The executive that stole the name Mr. G from the original Mr. G, that actually had the name before he even became a member of the Sugar Hill, he was able to do this because his relatives owned the company and had all this money. That's what I'm trying to tell you. So having popularity and money doesn't mean you're a righteous person. It has nothing to do with it. Doesn't mean you're successful. It means, well, it doesn't. It means you're successful at being evil. You're being successful at being evil. And I was listening to this like, wow, this man who was the executive. Now, like I said, he got into that position because he was a family member and he took over Sugar Hill Records after the Robinsons, passed on. So he came into something that was already built and established, and he had money and was able to rip off the creator, Mr. G. He was able to take and steal, and he went around the country touring and calling himself Mr. G. And the fans who were smart, some of them will walk up to him and say, "You're not Mr. G. You're not the real Mr. G. That's not who you are." And so again, my point is sometimes people have more money and more know-how, and that's why they appear to be successful, because they've done so much evil, so much manipulating, so much stealing, and so much taking from actual real creators. And that's exactly what's happened in my case. Again, the example I just gave you was in the music industry, but this is in the creative, entertainment YouTube industry. Same thing has happened. Person that already had a audience, didn't talk about colorism, didn't talk about dark skin, saw the brilliance that I had, could never be me, but had the audience already. I want you to understand that. The audience was already there. So all that person needed to do is steal and take from me and pass off my brilliance to their audience. That's what happened. Yes, Richard Florida, you said people are jealous of you. They plagiarize you left and right. It's sick. Exactly. This is what they do. And they've been doing it since 2018. But again, because I just gave you the example and I just told you that some of these people have bigger platforms and they already had these platforms. Or some of these people have been placed into a position by big platforms. But at the end of the day, none of them could never be me. Nobody can say legitimately that they created this entire lane. They're lying. And just so you guys know what happened, I'm telling y'all what ended up happening. See, God don't like ugly. The real Mr. G, along with another member of the Sugar Hill Gang, they went and sued, and they were able to get back their name and use it. Okay, so they did sue. And the person that stole from them passed away at an early age. And this is the same person that had access to all the money. This is the same person that had access to a already built-in platform, but didn't have the talent, didn't have the originality, didn't have the authenticity, didn't have the talent. I think that was a big part of it. I think he was actually just jealous of Mr. G. He wanted to be him so bad, but he couldn't be him because God made Mr. G, Mr. G. This man ended up dying, the person that stole, at 53 years old. And the original members, they went on to, they're in their 60s now, or close to their 60s, and they have been very successful. And I'm not saying this to throw shade at no one. I'm telling you this because this is what happened. If you don't believe me, go watch the unsung story of the Sugar Hill Gang. So my thing is this: people can do all kinds of conniving, evil stuff. They can do it. They can rip people off and steal from people and do nasty, wicked, evil, low-down things. But in the end, you got to deal with your karma and you got to deal with God. It is what it is. I point out another example of Madam C.J. Walker. For years, I had been brainwashed and I had drank the Kool-Aid. About her being the first black millionaire and how it was passed off as Madam C.J. Walker being the first black female millionaire and the first to establish the hair care industry for black women. And some even said she invented the straightening comb. But as a little girl coming up through the school system, I remember during Black History Month where they would just jam this into our head. And I grew up and realized it was all a lie. She'd actually stolen from Annie Malone. And I was so disappointed, still disappointed, because I had been led to believe for all these years that this dark skinned woman had, through her own brain, her own work, her own creativity, did all these accomplishments. But I grew up and found out that it was all a big lie. And that the real inventor of the black hair care industry and the real first black female millionaire that came before her was Annie Malone. I refuse to watch that movie about Madam C.J. Walker. I will not watch it unless there's a movie about Annie Malone, the real first black female millionaire and the real designer and architect of the black hair care industry. So much lies and thievery and plagiarism and deceptiveness in our community, and it sickens me. And what I've learned is that it hasn't changed. We're able to just do it now via social media. People that got bigger channels but don't have good content and are not original but know how to market, they steal from smaller YouTubers who are original, who do have good content. They take. That's what's happened to me. And again, Madam C.J. Walker died in her 50s. Annie Malone lived to be somewhere around 90. That's a telltale sign right there. God does not like when people do other people wrong. God does not like ugly. Yes, it's called karma. Again, I'm not wishing nothing bad on nobody. I'm telling y'all what happened. These are not my facts. These are the facts. The man from the sugar who stole Mr. G's identity, he died at 53, and the original members are still living, and they're making money, and God has blessed them to overcome. Madam C.J. Walker, if you do your research, she died at an early age, and, she lost a lot. She lost a lot financially and materially. While Annie Malone, the true creator of the black hair care industry, ended up living to be in her 90s or somewhere very close to that. Do your research on it. So, people in this world, they steal, they take, they lie, they deceive. This is what people do, and it's a hard pill to swallow. But at the end of the day, I already know God got me. I already know that God is going to take care of me from everything that has been taken and stolen from me, whether it be from people online, reality TV. God gonna give it all back to me. I'm not even worried about it. I'm definitely gonna call it out. I'm not gonna sit up here and be quiet about it. I don't have to do that. I can talk about what has happened to me. It's my story. It's all a part of my story. Why would I not talk about my story in its entirety? It doesn't make sense. But I already know that God is going to take care of me. And I'm good. And I already know that if it wasn't for me, no dark-skinned women would have the balls, the audacity, y'all know what I mean, to talk about dark skin, because they didn't do it before me. They watched me. They stole from me. They never wanted to give credit. They were very selfish and wanted to take it for their own, but they didn't create it. They didn't write the books. None of these people can ever say they've done what I've done. They can't say they started dark skin activism, the first platform for colorism and darkism in 98 before everybody else. No one can say that. Nobody can say it. And you notice nobody is saying that, because they would be lying. Nobody could say that within starting the first platform for colorism and dark skin, they changed the game and gave it the name Darkism. They can't say that, because I coined it. I coined the word darkism, and I wrote the book Darkism. Nobody can say that they wrote the most books on dark skin. They can write a book. I mean, you following my blueprint, but you can't say that you've devoted your life to it. I own that. Nobody can say that they built the first platform as an artist around their dark skin. They can try to copy me now, but I've already done it. You're doing nothing but plagiarizing me. So no one can say that. So I don't care to be classed with these people. I stand on my own because I know I'm the originator. And when you are the originator, when you created something, you don't have to stand with it. Let me just give you an example of that. You don't have to stand with these people that's ripping you off. When this executive who owned the record company that put out Sugar Hills Records stole Mr. G's name, Mr. G them never joined them. They never joined the group. Why? Because Mr. G didn't have to. He's Mr. G. Why does he need to join fakes and frauds? Okay? That's one thing I paid attention to that. I was like, wow, Mr. G and the other person that I can't think of his name, but he was the other person that used to say the hip hop, the heavyset one. They never joined the fakes, even though the fakes actually owned the record company as a result of taking over after the true owners, which were their relatives, passed away. But the real Mr. G never had to join the fakes, even though they had more money. They had the ability to get to more people. They had a bigger platform. Mr. G never had to join them because he is the one that created it. So I don't have to join. I said that to give you an example, a concrete live example of people robbing and stealing from people, and the real ones we don't have to join in that. I'm never going to join in that. I'm not going to join in with these people when I know that you're a fraud and a fake. I stand on my own. I created this. I don't have to join in with others who are not authentic, who are not the creators. That makes no sense. All I need to do is continue to be the originator and keep creating. That's it. Because I know that nobody can never be me. I love being me. I love being the creator of this entire movement. I love it. Nobody else could ever be me. You can't copy that. You can't duplicate that. So I don't have to join in with these folks, even if they got bigger platforms. I don't desire. Let me be clear here, because I think some of y'all got our cues, and I'm not. I've been the dark skin activist doing this before there was a social media, before there was a YouTube. I created this platform, and I've been touring around the country doing my plays. Now, these people jumped on my bandwagon after I brought it to social media, and they began plagiarizing me. But I have a solid foundation if YouTube left today or tomorrow. I've built a solid foundation of work and a way to carry out this work. If I'm not dependent on YouTube like that. YouTube is not how I make my money. I was touring and doing my play before there was YouTube. Because I own this. I own the play. I own the rights to it. It's mine. I wrote the books. I can sell my books. I sell my books without YouTube. With or without them, I'm still going to be here because I created it. I hold the blueprints. So I don't have to join up with people who are fraud just because they know how to market and then take from other people. That's my integrity at stake. I would never jeopardize my integrity. I can stand on my own. I've been producing my play and selling tickets to my shows for years. I always find a way. So I don't have to stand with people because they have big platforms if they're frauds. There's no need for me to do that. I created my own market and I created my own demand without these people. They needed me because they saw what I was doing, studied me, and plagiarized me. So I don't have to stand with these people. I don't have to do any of that. I don't have to do any of that. And I won't do that. I will not compromise myself for frauds because I know the authenticity of my creation. I know it came from the real. You know how you go to the dollar store, for example, and I like shortbread. So there's this really good shortbread that you can go to Publix and you buy it out of Publix, or you can either make it yourself. And it has wonderful quality, authentic ingredients. Absolutely delicious. But then they also got like the bootleg version in the dollar store. And you taste that and you're like, whoa, what is this? Now, the authentic version might be a little bit more expensive sometimes. I might have to drive a little bit far, but it tastes so good and it's the real. When I taste it, I know that's the real. It ain't nothing fake. Ain't nothing conjured up. Ain't nothing borrowed. It's real, authentic ingredients. That is what you get when you see me. I'm the real dark skin activist. I'm the real creator. You're not going to get the watered down stuff. You're not going to get the fake stuff. You're going to get the sincere authenticity of why this movement was created. And that's why you don't see the frauds and the fakes going through what I'm going through, because they can't withstand it. You don't see the frauds and the fakes out protesting because they haven't done that offline before there was social media. I've done this for real. You don't see these frauds and fakes in school systems or with the proven track record of engaging in dark skin activism before there was YouTube, because they don't have it, because they're not Rashida Strober. They're not the real. They're not the original. It's a fake Picasso. It's a fake Picasso, people. All fake Picassos. So, when you are the real Picasso, you stand alone. That's how it goes. And you stand the test of time. It's absolutely gorgeous out here. Let me let you guys see. This is my absolute all-time favorite places to be. Let me see if I can kind of wipe my camera here. Give me a second, guys, so you guys can get a good view. There we go. When the darkism trials and tribulations arise, one of my favorite places to be is out here by the water, where you see the green. You see the grass, the sun, and guys, there's gators in this water. There's gators in this water. Don't let that tranquility fool you. It is a lot of gators out here, but it's one of my favorite places to be. Just to get out here in the sun and just see the beauty and to soak in that vitamin D that's very good for our skin, our health. This is where I come. I love it. I adore it. Now make sure y'all go to my Cash App and support what I do. Support my campaign. My Cash App is $ Rashida Lala. Once again, $ Rashida Lala. My PayPal, if you want to make a donation there, is icecreamladydream@yahoo.com, or a contribution, should I say. icecreamladydream@yahoo.com, or you can Google Rashida Strober GoFundMe. Okay? Rashida Strober GoFundMe. All right? And you can make a donation. The money goes towards me producing my shows, my ongoing dark skin activist shows, and other aspects of the campaign. Like right now, I'm currently in a legal battle where I had to go to court against the person here on YouTube that has done some horrendous things to me. So, I'm always raising funds. So make sure you go to one of my financial platforms, whether it be my Cash App, and that's $ Rashida Lala. Once again, $ Rashida Lala. My PayPal is icecreamladydream@yahoo.com. Once again, icecreamladydream@yahoo.com. And my Cash App is $ Rashida Lala. $ Rashida Lala. Look at how pretty it is out here, y'all. That is just like, look at the word. I mean, it is picture perfect out here. Now, I will tell y'all, if y'all see all that green grass looking or flower looking plants in the water, now this just the plants just grew up in the water probably about 2-3 months ago. Before that, it was all just like water, like the body of water that you see out there, and then all the plants started to grow. But there's a bunch of alligators that are lurking in here. Do not let that beauty fool you. So if you ever in a place that look like this, I'm going to tell you right now, I know it may look all pretty, like you can just go walk over there. Oh, I want to walk and pick some flowers. Don't do it. Because if you anywhere in Florida, honey, it could be gators. I'm just telling y'all straight up what it is. It looks all pretty. It's very beautiful. But underneath those plants, those beautiful plants, is gators. And they are all up in this water. In fact, I seen a few of them running through here today, but they, you can only see them if they're like over in the body of water. You're not going to be able to see them if they're in the plants. So below the plants is the water, and below that is the gators. And they could actually be crawling through those what looks like grass and flowers. They could be crawling through there. So, yeah, you do not want to just like, some people that's not from here, they might be like, oh, that's so pretty, and think it's a field, and start walking over there. Well, honey, you're going to be walking into some gators. So don't do that. I'm just here to warn you. If you ever visit Florida and you ever see something that looks like this, that's by some water, I would steer clear if I was you. Like, seriously, I would not go nowhere near it. You could watch it from afar. You can, like, I come out here and I like to sit in my car. Sometimes I'll get out, but I'm real careful because some people, like, they'll walk over there by the edge right there. Y'all see where those little white, little stick looking things are sticking up at? That's really, gators hang out over there. And see, people that are not from here would not know that, So, and I don't think they've done a good job about putting up signs. Now, I did see a few signs out here. Well, not even a few. I'm going to say I saw one sign out here that told you not to feed the gators. But, you know, sometimes people don't be paying attention to stuff. So I actually think that there should be more signs out here just to warn people. But if you look across the street, y'all see houses over there. Can you believe that? People actually live across the street from this lake filled with gators. Filled with gators. Like, they actually live across the street. Shock. But I will tell y'all, I think that it's absolutely stunning out here. And it is one of my favorite places to be. To come and sit and reflect and look at the sun and look at the water and look at the trees when the troubles of a darkism life starts to bother me. I'll come out here and just, I can really get some peace of mind. I absolutely adore this place. I do, but you ain't got to never worry about me getting in that water, ever. I'm not ever getting in that water. If I want to get in the water, honey, I go to the beach. And there's plenty of beaches around here. I go to the beach. I do not swim in these ponds. I already done explained to y'all why. Bad business. I want to thank you guys for watching. Make sure you like the video, share the video, subscribe. Make sure you support me by going to, like I said, one of my financial platforms. Cash App, $ Rashida Lala. $ Rashida Lala. That's the Cash App. And the PayPal is icecreamladydream@yahoo.com. Or you can Google Rashida Strober GoFundMe. And people that contribute $40 or greater will be sent a copy of my book. You'll either get Darkism, 25 Ways Dark-Skinned People Are Discriminated Against, Dark-Skinned Woman's Revenge, or How to Be the Hottest Dark-Skinned Chick on the Planet. My website is darkskinactivist.com. Once again, darkskinactivist.com. I also want you guys to look out for upcoming performances on my website. They're going to be streamed through pay-per-view live stream on my website, which is darkskinactivist.com. And I will be doing special streams only on darkskinactivist.com. And so in order for you to know about it, you're going to have to become a member of the website. So just go to darkskinactivist.com and sign up, and there you have it. I'm signing out. Rashida Strober. I am the world's first and only dark-skinned activist. I'm often imitated, but I'm never duplicated. I'm the originator, the creator, the designer, the architect, the inventor of the very first platform in history to ever speak on colorism, darkism, and its eradication. And that platform is called Dark Skin Activism, created in 1998. Often imitated, but I'm never duplicated. darkskinactivist.com.